Imagine a monk in ancient China, standing at dawn beside a silent lake. Mist coils above the water, like drifting spirit energy. And with every slow, deliberate breath, his body seems to shimmer with vitality. Centuries later, scientists record a strange phenomenon. People who practice certain breathing patterns show improved cell regeneration, enhanced immune response, and even measurable increases in electromagnetic fields around their bodies. Coincidence or rediscovery of an ancient secret? For thousands of years, Qigong masters claimed that breath was the bridge between the physical and the invisible. They spoke of Qi, the life force that animates all existence, circulating through the body's meridians like rivers through a vast land. Modern life, they said, had broken this natural flow. The result: fatigue, illness, and premature aging. But those who learned to control the rhythm of their breath could command their life energy, restoring youth, calm, and inner power. Today, buried beneath the noise of our high-speed world, this ancient wisdom is re-emerging. In this video, you will uncover how specific Qigong breathing techniques can awaken your dormant Qi energy, revitalize your body, and rekindle your spirit. This is not myth. It is an art that science is only beginning to understand. Our modern world was built for speed, not balance. Every morning, millions wake up already tired. The first instinct is not to breathe deeply, but to reach for caffeine, screens, and deadlines. We live in a cycle of stimulation and exhaustion, constantly bombarded by notifications, noise, and invisible pressures. The mind races ahead, but the body lags behind, trapped in shallow, unconscious breathing. This is the hidden epidemic of modern life, the slow suffocation of our vitality. Science confirms what ancient masters already knew. When breath becomes shallow, energy diminishes. Without deep oxygenation, our cells struggle. The nervous system stays locked in fight-or-flight mode. Muscles tighten, digestion weakens, and sleep becomes restless. Anxiety and fatigue blend into a background hum we start calling normal. We live disconnected from our natural rhythm, like instruments out of tune with the song of life. Ancient Chinese masters called this energy stagnation. The qi that should flow smoothly through the meridians becomes trapped, creating imbalance and tension. In modern terms, our internal systems fall out of harmony. We seek external fixes, vitamins, workouts, quick escapes. But the root cause lies deeper, within the breath itself. To restore balance, we must learn to breathe not just with the lungs, but with the entire body and mind. Thousands of years ago, high in the misty mountains of ancient China, sages sought not wealth or fame, but understanding, a way to harmonize with the invisible currents of nature. From their meditations and observations of the natural world, Qigong was born. The word Qi means life energy, and Gong means cultivation or skill. Together, they form the practice of cultivating life energy through awareness, posture, and breath. It was not merely exercise. It was a living science of vitality. These early masters discovered that by aligning the breath with gentle movement and focused intention, they could influence the subtle energy that sustains life. They saw humans as microcosms of the universe, reflections of the same patterns that move the stars, tides, and seasons. When one's inner energy flows freely, health and clarity follow. When it stagnates, imbalance and disease take hold. Qigong became both medicine and meditation, a bridge between physical strength and spiritual awakening. Over centuries, this practice evolved into countless forms, some slow and meditative, others dynamic and powerful, yet all shared the same purpose: to balance yin and yang, to restore harmony between the body, mind, and spirit. In a world losing touch with inner peace, Qigong remains the ancient solution waiting to be rediscovered. For centuries, the concept of Qi seemed mystical, an invisible force beyond measurement. Yet, as modern science advances, the old wisdom finds new validation. Researchers have begun to uncover how controlled breathing influences the very systems that sustain life. When you slow and deepen your breath, carbon dioxide levels stabilize, oxygen absorption improves, and the vagus nerve activates, signaling the body to relax. Heart rate drops, stress hormones decline, and a wave of calm spreads through the nervous system. These effects mirror what ancient practitioners described as the gentle rise of Qi, a state where energy flows effortlessly. Modern instruments can now detect subtle bioelectrical and electromagnetic changes in the body during deep meditative breathing. Some studies even show increased coherence in heart rhythms and brainwave patterns, evidence of harmony between mind and body. What once was called Chi energy may in fact represent the body's natural bioenergetic balance, optimized through awareness and breath. On the cellular level, enhanced oxygenation leads to greater ATP production, the very currency of energy in every living cell. Blood circulation improves, detoxification accelerates, and inflammation decreases. The ancient promise of rejuvenation through breath aligns perfectly with these findings. Science is finally tracing the outlines of what sages already mapped through inner experience. That breath is the bridge between matter and spirit, chemistry and consciousness. Beyond the physiology and biochemistry lies the deeper realm of spirit, the landscape where Qigong truly comes alive. In Taoist philosophy, Qi is not simply a form of energy. It is the living essence of the universe itself, the unseen current that animates all forms, from mountains to rivers, from wind to the beating of the human heart. To cultivate Qi through breathing is to enter into communion with this cosmic rhythm, to remember that we are not separate from nature, but expressions of its infinite movement. The ancients taught that breath is the language of the spirit. When the breath is erratic, the mind is restless, and the spirit becomes clouded. But when breath flows smooth and silent, the mind clears, and the inner light awakens. In this stillness, practitioners begin to sense the subtle pulsing of life within and around them, a feeling of unity, as though the boundaries between self and the world dissolve. This is not imagination. It is awareness expanding to perceive what was always there. Through disciplined practice, the body becomes the vessel, and the breath the key that unlocks its hidden potential. Qigong breathing transforms the ordinary act of inhalation into an act of reverence, a sacred dialogue between the individual and the universe. Each breath becomes an offering, each exhale a release of tension, each pause a moment of awakening. To breathe consciously is to touch the eternal, to live not merely as a body, but as a luminous current of life itself. Before one can awaken Qi, the body and mind must first be prepared. Ancient masters often said, "A still pond reflects the moon clearly, but a disturbed one shows only ripples." The same is true of our internal energy. Preparation for Qigong breathing is not just physical. It is an act of inner purification. To receive the life force, you must first quiet the noise within. Find a calm space where you will not be disturbed. Stand barefoot if possible, feet shoulder-width apart, toes pointing forward. Feel the ground beneath you, not as a hard surface, but as a living foundation that supports your entire being. Slightly bend the knees to release stiffness. Let the spine align naturally and allow the shoulders to drop. The head should float lightly, as if suspended by a thread from above. This posture is called Wu Ji, the posture of emptiness, the gateway to all Qigong practice. Now bring attention inward. Close your eyes gently, not tightly. Begin to watch the breath without changing it. Observe how it enters, how it leaves. Thoughts may come. Let them drift like clouds without attachment. The key is to settle the mind without forcing it. Ancient texts describe this stage as returning to stillness, a prerequisite for awakening Qi. Only when the water of the mind becomes clear can it reflect the light of life within. This is how you prepare the body to become a vessel, and the breath to become the bridge between heaven and earth. Now we arrive at the heart of the practice, the Qigong breathing technique itself. This is where stillness becomes movement, and awareness becomes energy. Stand in the Wu Ji posture you prepared earlier. Feet grounded, spine erect, yet relaxed, crown gently lifted, shoulders soft. Let your tongue rest lightly against the roof of your mouth. This connects the energy circuit of the body, completing what ancient masters called the microcosmic orbit. Begin by taking a slow, natural inhale through your nose. Do not force the breath. Feel it travel down the throat, expanding the chest, and then the abdomen. Imagine the air sinking deep into the lower belly, into the area just below the navel, the Dantian, known as the body's energy reservoir. Pause gently when you feel full, as though your entire being is quietly illuminated from within. Then exhale slowly through the nose or slightly parted lips, allowing all tension to flow out, down through the feet into the earth. Inhale again, but this time visualize drawing pure energy from the universe, from the sky, from the air, from light itself. As it fills your body, picture it washing through you, cleansing the organs, soothing the heart, brightening the mind. When you exhale, release any fatigue, any heavy emotions, letting them dissolve into the ground beneath you. Each breath is a cycle of renewal, drawing in life, letting go of decay. Continue this rhythm for several minutes. Gradually extend the length of both inhalation and exhalation, keeping the breath smooth and silent. The secret lies not in how much air you take, but in how much awareness you bring to each breath. Your body will begin to feel warm, your hands tingling, your mind quiet yet alert. You may sense a subtle current flowing through the spine or across the palms. This is Qi awakening. If the mind wanders, return it gently to the Dantian, visualizing it as a glowing sphere of golden light. With each breath, see this light expand, filling every cell with vitality. Over time, this practice strengthens the Qi, stabilizes the emotions, and awakens the natural intelligence of the body. Do not rush. Qigong breathing is not about control. It is about surrender. Let the breath guide you. Let the energy teach you. When the inhale and exhale become one continuous wave, you have entered the living rhythm of the universe. As you continue this breathing practice, subtle yet profound transformations begin to unfold within. At first, you may simply notice warmth in your belly or a light tingling in your palms. These sensations are the first stirrings of Qi, the body's response to being fully oxygenated, relaxed, and aligned. Over time, this warmth spreads, rising through the torso, circulating through the arms, legs, and head, as though invisible rivers have begun to flow within you once again. This is not imagination. It is the physical manifestation of energetic movement. From a biological perspective, slow rhythmic breathing enhances the parasympathetic nervous system, lowering stress hormones and stabilizing heart rhythms. The blood becomes richer in oxygen, feeding the brain and organs with vitality. Muscles soften, joints release tension, and the body enters a state of natural equilibrium. Yet beyond the physiology, something deeper occurs. The mind and breath begin to merge, creating unity between thought and energy. You no longer breathe unconsciously. You are breathed by life itself. Emotionally, buried feelings may begin to surface. Sadness, anxiety, or even joy without cause. This is part of the purification process. Each exhale releases not only carbon dioxide, but old energy, emotional residue long trapped in the tissues. Practitioners often report a sense of lightness afterward, as though a hidden burden has been lifted. This is qi cleansing, a return to flow. Mentally, the chatter quiets. The mind becomes like a vast, clear sky, where thoughts drift gently, but no longer disturb the peace. In this clarity, intuition strengthens. The world seems more vivid, colors brighter, sounds more harmonious. Many describe an inner stillness that feels both expansive and intimate, a profound presence that requires no effort to sustain. Energetically, as qi accumulates in the Dantian, it begins to circulate naturally through the meridians, nourishing organs and restoring vitality. Traditional Chinese medicine describes this as opening the gates, the moment when blocked channels begin to clear, and the life force moves freely once more. When this happens, even small acts like walking, smiling, or speaking seem infused with quiet strength. The boundary between body and spirit grows thin. You begin to sense the energy around you, in trees, air, sunlight, as a living field connected to your own. This awareness is not mystical, it is experiential. Qigong breathing reveals the continuity of all things. Through breath, you discover that the same life force flowing through your lungs is the same essence that moves the stars. When practiced with patience and sincerity, Qigong breathing begins to transform every aspect of life. Not just the body, but the mind, emotions, and even destiny itself. Practitioners, throughout history, have described the results as nothing short of miraculous, though the process itself is grounded in simple, natural law. As the breath deepens and the qi circulates freely, vitality increases. The complexion brightens, the posture straightens, and the eyes regain a subtle radiance, signs that the body's energy field has been recharged. Ancient texts describe Qigong as the art of returning to springtime, meaning the body rejuvenates as though time itself were reversed. Modern research supports this poetic wisdom. Deep, mindful breathing boosts telomerase activity, which helps protect DNA from aging. Blood pressure normalizes, immune function strengthens, and inflammation decreases. Practitioners often report fewer illnesses, quicker recovery, and greater stamina. Yet these physical benefits are only the outer expression of something far deeper: the restoration of harmony within. Emotionally, Qigong breathing brings remarkable stability. Anger softens, anxiety fades, and joy arises without external reason. It is as though each breath polishes the heart until it becomes transparent, reflecting calm like a still lake. This emotional steadiness transforms relationships and communication. People around you sense your grounded presence and respond with trust. You begin to influence the world, not through force, but through energy. The quiet power of equilibrium. Mentally, the fog of distraction lifts, focus sharpens, creativity expands, and memory improves. Many practitioners report entering states of flow more easily, moments when time disappears and everything unfolds effortlessly. The mind becomes both alert and tranquil, capable of great clarity without tension. This state, once rare, becomes natural as Qi harmonizes brain and body rhythms. Spiritually, the benefits reach their peak. The more one breathes consciously, the more one feels connected to life itself, to the vast intelligence that orchestrates all existence. A sense of gratitude arises spontaneously, not as a concept, but as a living awareness. You realize that every breath is a gift, every heartbeat a reminder of your unity with the universe. This is the true treasure of Qigong, the awakening of presence. Throughout history, great masters lived as living examples of this harmony. Zhang Sanfeng, the legendary Taoist immortal, was said to have practiced Qigong into his old age, maintaining youthful vigor and clarity. Modern practitioners tell similar stories of chronic illness reversed, of depression lifted, of renewed purpose found through daily breathwork. These are not myths. They are testaments to the body's innate wisdom once the breath becomes the teacher. Ultimately, the result of consistent Qigong breathing is not just longevity, but vital living. A state of radiant health where energy flows unimpeded, emotions are balanced, and consciousness feels vast yet peaceful. It is the experience of being fully alive in every cell, of waking each morning with quiet strength and deep calm, knowing that the power of life itself moves through you with each inhale and exhale. To experience the full transformation that Qigong breathing offers, it must become more than an occasional practice. It must become a way of living. The ancient masters often said, Qigong is not something you do, it is something you become. The secret lies in integration, weaving this awareness of breath and energy into the fabric of everyday life until it shapes how you walk, speak, and think. Begin with small steps. Set aside 10 minutes in the morning before the noise of the world begins. Stand quietly in the Wu Ji posture, breathe into your Dantian, and let the body awaken with calm intention. Morning practice charges you for the day ahead, filling you with steady energy instead of the frantic rush that coffee or adrenaline brings. If mornings are impossible, practice in the evening as the sun sets. Allow the breath to gather the scattered fragments of the day, releasing tension and restoring balance. Gradually, Qigong breathing will follow you beyond formal practice. You will find yourself breathing slowly while waiting in line, walking through nature, or sitting in traffic. The body remembers what peace feels like and begins to seek it instinctively. Each conscious breath becomes a meditation, each inhale a return to center. With time, you stop losing energy to worry and overthinking. Instead, you begin to generate it through awareness. You may choose to synchronize Qigong breathing with gentle movements, raising and lowering the arms, rotating the torso, or simply swaying as trees do in the wind. Movement guides energy through the meridians, while breath gives it life. But even without movement, the practice remains potent. Stillness, too, has its power. Consistency matters more than duration. 10 mindful minutes daily can change your physiology and mood more profoundly than an hour of distracted effort. The aim is not perfection, but presence. If a day is missed, begin again without guilt. The Qi does not judge. It only flows when invited. Integrating Qigong into life also means aligning your environment with its principles. Keep your living space uncluttered to allow energy to move freely. Spend time outdoors, reconnecting with natural rhythms. Eat slowly, breathe between bites, and sense how food transforms into energy within. Speak with calmness, listen deeply, and move with grace. Each act becomes an expression of cultivated qi. Eventually, you may discover that what began as a breathing exercise becomes a philosophy of being. The same awareness you bring to the breath extends to your emotions, relationships, and work. Tension no longer controls you because you know how to dissolve it. Fatigue becomes a signal, not a limitation, and joy arises effortlessly from within. When Qigong breathing is integrated into daily life, you stop chasing balance and start living it. You walk through the world as a quiet source of harmony, grounded yet open, strong yet gentle, radiant without trying. That is the true mastery of breath, not escaping life, but fully embodying it. As with all profound arts, the path of Qigong breathing is simple, but not always easy. Many who begin this journey encounter obstacles born from misunderstanding, expecting quick miracles, overexerting the body, or trying to control the energy rather than harmonize with it. To progress safely and effectively, one must first unlearn the modern obsession with instant results. Qigong is not a sprint toward enlightenment. It is a lifelong dance with energy, rhythm, and awareness. One of the most common mistakes is breathing too forcefully. Beginners sometimes believe that deeper or stronger breaths will produce faster results. In truth, forcing the breath creates tension in the chest and interrupts the natural flow of qi. The ancient saying warns, "Where there is tension, qi cannot enter." True Qigong breathing is gentle, continuous, and effortless. It feels as though the breath is breathing you. The air moves in and out naturally, guided by stillness rather than willpower. Another mistake lies in chasing sensations. Many practitioners become fixated on the warmth, tingling, or pulsing that often accompanies early stages of practice. These signs are encouraging, but should never become the goal. Qi follows awareness. If the mind clings to one feeling, energy becomes trapped there. The key is to observe sensations without attachment, letting the energy circulate freely through the entire system. There is also a common misconception that Qigong is purely mystical, accessible only to the spiritually gifted or those living in isolation. In reality, Qigong was created for ordinary people, farmers, soldiers, healers, anyone seeking balance and vitality. The mystical experiences that arise are natural extensions of a calm, healthy system, not the purpose itself. The true purpose is harmony, between mind and body, between self and the universe. Overexertion is another hidden trap. Some enthusiasts practice excessively, believing that more means better. But just as plants cannot grow faster by pulling on their stems, energy cannot be rushed. The breath must unfold with patience. Qigong flourishes through moderation, the middle way. A few mindful minutes each day, practiced consistently, will yield more profound results than hours of strained effort. Lastly, beware of practicing with scattered intention. Without focus, Qigong becomes mechanical. The breath may move, but the spirit does not. Each session should begin with a clear, heartfelt intention to heal, to calm, to reconnect with life. This directs the chai purposefully, transforming it from mere air exchange into sacred cultivation. Remember, progress in Qigong is circular, not linear. Some days, energy flows effortlessly. Other days, it feels blocked or stagnant. Both are part of the process. The key is persistence with humility. Every breath taken with awareness plants a seed. Over time, those seeds bloom into radiant vitality and deep peace. The masters taught that when you release ambition and practice with sincerity, the chai itself becomes your teacher. It will correct your posture, refine your breathing, and guide your awareness gently toward balance. In this way, mistakes are not failures. They are lessons through which the breath leads you back home. When you have practiced Qigong breathing long enough, something extraordinary, yet profoundly natural begins to unfold. A quiet awakening, as if the boundaries of self start to dissolve into the pulse of the universe. What began as a method of restoring health and calm gradually reveals itself as a path to self-realization. Breath becomes more than air. It becomes awareness in motion, the whisper of spirit through the doorway of the body. This is the true gift of Qigong, the return to the source. Each inhale draws you closer to the heart of existence. Each exhale lets go of illusion. Over time, you begin to sense that Qi is not something you possess, but something you are. The same force that moves the wind and stirs the oceans flows through your veins. When you breathe consciously, you are participating in the eternal rhythm of life, the cosmic inhale and exhale that sustains all creation. The ancient Taoists describe this realization as becoming one with the way. It is not achieved through effort, but through surrender, allowing the breath to carry you beyond the chatter of the mind into pure presence. In this state, time slows. The body feels light, yet rooted. The mind becomes silent, yet radiant with awareness. You feel yourself expanding beyond the skin, merging with the subtle field of energy around you. This is not a mystical escape. It is a homecoming, a remembrance that separation was never real. Practitioners often speak of newfound intuition, compassion, and clarity emerging effortlessly. Decisions feel guided by an inner knowing rather than calculation. Encounters with others become infused with understanding, as if you can sense the flow of their energy as clearly as your own. This is the maturity of Qi, the awakening of the heart-mind, where wisdom arises not from intellect, but from alignment with life's deeper intelligence. Such transformation cannot be faked or hurried. It blossoms in silence, in daily practice, in the willingness to listen to the breath with devotion. The greatest masters of Qigong never sought power or fame. Their goal was simplicity, to live in harmony with the Tao, to embody serenity amidst chaos, and to radiate vitality that heals others simply through presence. As you continue your own journey, you may find that the world itself seems to breathe with you. Trees sway in rhythm with your lungs, waves seem to echo your heartbeat, and the sky feels alive with the same chai you cultivate within. This is the ultimate realization, that there is no boundary between the breath inside and the breath of the universe outside. They are one continuous current, infinite, eternal, and free. When you have practiced Qigong breathing long enough, something extraordinary, yet profoundly natural begins to unfold. A quiet awakening, as if the boundaries of self start to dissolve into the pulse of the universe. What began as a method of restoring health and calm gradually reveals itself as a path to self-realization. Breath becomes more than air. It becomes awareness in motion, the whisper of spirit through the doorway of the body. This is the true gift of Qigong, the return to the source. Each inhale draws you closer to the heart of existence. Each exhale lets go of illusion. Over time, you begin to sense that Qi is not something you possess, but something you are. The same force that moves the wind and stirs the oceans flows through your veins. When you breathe consciously, you are participating in the eternal rhythm of life, the cosmic inhale and exhale that sustains all creation. The ancient Taoists described this realization as becoming one with the way. It is not achieved through effort, but through surrender, allowing the breath to carry you beyond the chatter of the mind into pure presence. In this state, time slows. The body feels light, yet rooted. The mind becomes silent, yet radiant with awareness. You feel yourself expanding beyond the skin, merging with the subtle field of energy around you. This is not a mystical escape. It is a homecoming, a remembrance that separation was never real. Practitioners often speak of newfound intuition, compassion, and clarity emerging effortlessly. Decisions feel guided by an inner knowing rather than calculation. Encounters with others become infused with understanding, as if you can sense the flow of their energy as clearly as your own. This is the maturity of Qi, the awakening of the heart-mind, where wisdom arises not from intellect, but from alignment with life's deeper intelligence. Such transformation cannot be faked or hurried. It blossoms in silence, in daily practice, in the willingness to listen to the breath with devotion. The greatest masters of Qigong never sought power or fame. Their goal was simplicity, to live in harmony with the Tao, to embody serenity amidst chaos, and to radiate vitality that heals others simply through presence. As you continue your own journey, you may find that the world itself seems to breathe with you. Trees sway in rhythm with your lungs, waves seem to echo your heartbeat, and the sky feels alive with the same chai you cultivate within. This is the ultimate realization, that there is no boundary between the breath inside and the breath of the universe outside. They are one continuous current, infinite, eternal, and free.